With everybody talking about the amazing monarch's ability to travel across the United States twice a year, we can forget that for some species, Wisconsin is not a northern escape. Numerous species actually see Wisconsin as their extreme southern home, ranging from as far north as 84 degrees, well inside the Arctic Circle. These Arctic species tend to be less showy and have shorter flight periods. Nonetheless, they are some of the more intriguing of the Badger State's flying fauna. Take the Jura Arctic, Aeneas jura, for example. We could travel over the boreal forest to Finland and find the same species nectaring on bog plants. Finns call it Ramakulman perhanen, a true circumpolar species. Juras prefer to hang where spruce and tamarack trees meet with open bog, perching on the trees and flying to safety in the trees when disturbed. The butterfly's patterning, a mosaic of whites, browns, and blacks, serves as camouflage, with some eye spots still drab in color arranged along the forewing's medial band. If you want to see Juras, be prepared to walk through bogs in mid-May to early June. Fast flight, though, makes this a difficult bug to photograph, as it always seems to flee just out of range. You may succeed by finding a spot where it landed and wait for its return. Due to the short growing season, caterpillars may not have enough food or time to prepare for pupation. Juras demonstrate another adaptation to overcome the short summer. They spend 2 winters in the larval state, the first as an early instar and the second as a later instar. Thus, in some parts of their range, consecutive years will see a large number flying, followed by a year where few or none fly. Douglas and Douglas, in Butterflies of the Great Lakes region, claim that odd number years have more Juras in the Great Lakes area. Anne Swangel says this is true in the eastern half of Wisconsin. Michigan and Wisconsin are the easternmost and southernmost homes to the Crixus arctic butterfly, an Arctic species also found along the range of the Rocky Mountains. Unlike the other Arctic species, it's not a denizen of bogs. Instead, you'll find it in open meadows that border wood areas with jack pine or further north in tundra. Caterpillars eat poverty oatgrass, Danthonia spicata, and mountain ricegrass, Piptotheropsis pungens. Douglas and Douglas note that Crixus arctics, when a shadow falls upon them, will crawl to a sunny spot rather than fly away. They fly close to the ground, an adaptation to conserve body heat. Mating strategies for Crixus arctics resemble those of some birds, particularly grouse and hummingbirds that use leks to find territories on open ground defended by individual males and visited by more mobile females, as explained in Napton. My favorite site for red-disked alpines, Wolf Lake in northern Forest County, sends me trudging through still cold May waters down a snowmobile trail that traverses the bog. We can only call this butterfly colorful when comparing it to a critter as drab as the Jura Arctic. Below, red-disked alpines sport a reddish patch with white frosting over a darker base along the wing margins. From above, the forewing's red area flashes while in flight, but it's a subdued flash. The first report of red-disked alpines came in 1837 from William Kirby, a noted British entomologist who examined samples taken in John Franklin's multiple expeditions to find the Northwest Passage in northern Canada. Like other satyrs, they tend to bask with wings closed and bodies tilted perpendicular to the sun's rays, behaviors that maximize solar energy intake. Butterflies rely on their surroundings for regulating their body temperatures. Survival in cold conditions increases with other characteristics: darker coloration, more body hairs to insulate the thorax, and a narrow range of body sizes. Most Arctic butterflies are similar in size to the clouded sulfur. Matthew Douglas summarizes, by carefully selecting warm basking substrates in sunlit, wind-protected microenvironments and by orienting the wings to intercept the maximum amount of solar radiation, alpine and Arctic butterflies can increase and stabilize their thoracic temperature to allow frequent and extended flights. Fritillaries bask with their wings open, which helps explain why the next three butterflies have dark coloration at the wings base, where wings attach to the thorax. Like their namesakes in the Norse pantheon, the identities of the Frigga and Freya fritillaries, Polarctic species, can be confused. Their flight periods overlap. They're found in similar habitats. They were both first cataloged by Linnaeus's disciple Peter Thunberg, and they both display the common patterning of lesser fritillaries. Freyas fly earlier, mostly in the latter half of May, while Friggas fly from late May into the middle of June in Wisconsin. I'm pairing them together to help with identification. Generally, the Frigga is a bit larger, with a wingspan ranging from 32 to 41 millimeters, according to the Butterflies of Canada. The Freya span measures 28 to 38 millimeters, so it's safe to say that some Freyas are bigger than some Friggas. But we can distinguish these two by their patterning. From the top side, the Frigga's dark area where the wings meet the thorax is darker and a bit larger than the similar area on Freya's. At the wing margins, Freyas have chevrons pointing inward, which Friggas lack. The undersides, though, more easily separate the two species, with Freya sporting a sharply defined patterning featuring a white triangle, while the Frigga's appears blurry with pale purple frosting that resembles that of the meadow fritillary. The bog fritillaries I've seen prefer the most open areas of bogs with the shortest vegetation and most direct sunlight. Adults nectar at Labrador tea, heaths, and bog laurels, flying low to the ground. Males emerge first and claim territory, sometimes challenging one another in butterfly tornadoes where they spiral up far above the bog. Females lay eggs in clumps near the caterpillar host plant's violets. Larvae overwinter as third or fourth instars, quickly forming pupae in spring, emerging in mid-June, and flying into early July. Bog coppers, the smallest coppers in Wisconsin, fly mainly in July in bogs where their caterpillar host plants wild cranberries, Vaccinium macrocarpon and Vaccinium oxycoxos grow. This species can become quite numerous. In 2017, we tallied 653 in the northern Oconto County butterfly count on the floating bog of Glocky Lake. Unlike other Arctic species, bog coppers are not rarities and are highly likely to be found in any suitable habitat. The bog copper's range correlates with the southernmost ice cover during the Wisconsinian glaciation of North America. Wright noted a population outside this range in West Virginia's Cranesville Swamp. Bog coppers overwinter as eggs laid on cranberry leaves close to the ground. Eggs can be submerged and frozen without apparent injury because the eggshell is honeycombed with openings that allow for gas exchange. The Arctic butterflies living in the lower extremes of temperature and daylight can help us understand all butterflies. As Carl Legler likes to say, butterflies are solar creatures. The behavioral and physical adaptations of Arctic butterflies to deal with the cold can be observed in other butterflies as well. If you pay close attention to basking behaviors in early mornings and later afternoons or early or late in the season, you'll see the way the wings are oriented towards the sun. You'll also understand why early morning butterflies huddle in warmer microclimates where they can raise their body temperatures to start their busy days. Last and likely least, as far as size goes on our tour of Arctic butterflies, is the Arctic skipperling, a small flyer with brown and orange patterning on top and white circles surrounded by dark brown on an orange background below. You'll likely be near water or a bog when you find this butterfly, who appears in mid-May and flies until almost July. Unfortunately, the Arctic skipperling is Arctic in name only. It's found in the areas of boreal and deciduous forests throughout the United States and Canada, not in the true Arctic.